Continue recording.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
We got a call just basically that you were just recording vehicles throughout I guess that we're driving around the IBC.
Okay, what happened?
I'm sorry?
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
It was just that we had received a call that you were recording vehicles while they were passing by the IBC.
Okay.
Are you from the area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an idea on you just that this much knows that I'm in contact with you?
This is a consensual encounter?
No, we actually got a call.
How come it's not consensual?
Well, because we had parties that were asking for me to check out with you.
Is there a crime being broken?
No, there isn't.
So it's consensual then, right?
Well, it's not consensual because if it was consensual, then that would be just me making contact with you without me being dispatched to you.
Well, since there's not a crime, then you have no investigation, right?
Well, no, that's the reason why I'm here. I didn't know that you were standing behind the IBC bank.
The suspicion of crime?
The recording begins as a man stands calmly with his camera near a local bank. Within moments, an officer approaches, explaining that someone reported him for recording vehicles around the area. The man asks what happened, seeking clarity. The officer insists it's not a consensual encounter because dispatch sent her to check on him. He asks if a crime is being committed, but she admits no laws were broken. Despite this, she requests his ID, leading the man to reference his rights under penal codes regarding identification during lawful arrest.
No, it's not.
So you have no reason to be here, right?
No, I do. I'm advising you that I got a call.
Oh, okay. So I think what you would do is make contact with them then.
No, because I don't know.
Oh. So
Yeah.
you just got anonymous call.
Yeah, just
All
that's
right.
just this one.
Okay. Well, I don't really give ID.
Well, you're required to right now because obviously I got a call. It's not a consensual encounter.
I'm only required to give ID. I believe it's 3802 penal code. I'm only required to give an ID if I'm lawfully arrested. I'm not lawfully arrested.
Well, no. That's obviously, if you're arrested, then yes,
Right.
obviously you're required to give your information.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm trying to make you understand is this isn't a casual encounter. I just didn't drive by here and just say, hey, okay, let me check out with this guy. That's not what happened.
Okay, so
And I didn't know that you were out here.
You're right.
Okay.
So in terms of your investigation was a suspicious person.
Yeah, that's how the call came. And obviously, you're not doing anything wrong. I mean, I can see that you're just standing here with your phone.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not. You know what I mean?
So
and
why
you're not
would-
in any trouble.
I mean, I wouldn't know that. If I surrender my Fourth Amendment, I could be wanted. Then
The conversation deepens as the man challenges the officer's reasoning. He states that without suspicion of a crime, the encounter must be consensual. The officer argues that dispatch involvement changes that, even though no illegal activity occurred. The man explains that surrendering his ID allows law enforcement to run his information, potentially creating problems even when he's innocent. He compares it to scenarios commonly shown on police shows, where giving up rights leads to unintended consequences. She tries to reassure him, but he continues asserting the importance of protecting his Fourth Amendment rights.
if I'd be surrendered Fourth Amendment, then I could be in trouble.
In trouble for what?
I'm just saying, in hypothetical scenarios, we watch cops all the time, right? It still comes on TV. When someone surrenders their Fourth Amendment, such as their ID, you guys run that through NCIS, and then you go, or ASIS, you're right, and you run their system, their information is look for warrants. So now they surrendered their Fourth Amendment, then they're subject to arrest.
Okay, so do you understand the reason why I'm here?
Yeah,
I
you're here.
totally understand that, but that would be like in a whole different circumstance, right? This isn't a traffic stop or anything like that.
Right.
It's not a casual encounter.
Mhm.
I mean, you can just provide me information. We did get a call that you were out here recording vehicles. Again, you're not committing any crime.
Mhm.
The only thing is that I got dispatched here.
Okay. No rings. You're not married?
No, sir.
Why not?
No need to be.
No need to be? Oh, wow. Woo.
If you don't mind, I'll be out of your hair. It's kind of hot out here, and you can continue.
Hey, it's a good shade. Look at this shade tree. Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot assist you with your investigation. That's not my job. I'm not going to do that.
The officer acknowledges she sees him only recording, yet insists her contact is justified by the call. The man explains how citizens retaining their rights does not mean they are guilty or suspicious. He emphasizes that cooperation must be based on lawful obligation, not pressure. The officer attempts to keep the interaction light, even joking about the heat and shade. But he remains firm that helping with the investigation, including giving ID, is beyond what the law requires. He states a private citizen should not have to identify themselves without lawful detainment or arrest.
So even identifying me will be assisting you with your investigation.
Well, the thing is that I don't know it. I don't know you personally.
You're not supposed to. I'm a private citizen.
Yeah, of course. So
Right.
what I'm saying is I got dispatched here.
Well, you gotta
So
know.
it's not a consensual encounter, right? You do have to identify, is what I'm saying.
I don't have to identify.
Because it isn't a
How long you been an
consensual
officer?
encounter. A few years.
Few years. You know, I got a question. This is hypothetical speaking. This is not. I'm not insinuating nothing. This is a hypothetical conversation. When officers encounter a member of the public, and a member of the public explains to them their right. Okay.
I can hear you. I can
Oh.
multitask.
Okay. Name?
How's it going? Officer Mugia,
Badge number?
714.
747. What was your badge number? 747. Okay, just like a hypothetical question. I'm not insinuating nothing, but when officers encounter a member of the public, and the member of the public state their rights or penal code, why do officers never think that they're police? Is it because there's a code of conduct that says if you're a police, you wouldn't do this? If you're a police, you wouldn't be out here with a camera doing what you're doing. Is that like an internal thought process?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The man expands on his concerns, questioning how officers interpret public knowledge of rights. He wonders why, when citizens cite case law or penal codes, officers rarely consider that citizens may be educated or even have legal backgrounds. Another officer arrives, and the man repeats his hypothetical question about law enforcement recognizing informed individuals. The second officer avoids the topic, saying he doesn't understand. This leads the man to highlight inconsistencies in police responses, especially when they ignore their own standards for probable cause and articulable suspicion.
I don't even know.
Wow. So no one. So when I rewind this and play this, you're saying I gave an incomplete sentence?
That's not what I'm saying, sir.
Well, then why don't you know what I'm talking about?
So right now we're obviously you're going off topic, right?
I'm supposed to, because you have no reason to be here.
I do. I just explained that to you. We got a phone call,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
It's just somebody concerned. That's all it is, right?
And now you're here.
And now I'm here. So it's not a consensual encounter, like I mentioned. I just didn't drive by here and decide to talk to you.
You did.
I did. I actually got a call here. So
It's a little too loud for us to just roll by and talk to people.
we just came into shift anyway. So
Well, the reason I say you did is because no one gave you a citation of a law being broken or a policy being broken. Therefore, for you to drive past and observe, you observe the suspicious person, which is me. You see no crime. He was given no crime.
no.
And you observe the suspicious person, which is me. And since you observed the suspicious person,
As the discussion continues, the man challenges the legitimacy of the encounter. The officer repeats that a call brought them there, not random patrol. But the man points out that no specific law, policy, or suspicious behavior was presented, meaning observing him from a vehicle still counts as officer-initiated contact. They insist the call justified it, but he counters that without a crime, this remains a rights-sensitive situation. He demands clarity because body cameras are rolling, emphasizing that accountability is crucial when police initiate conversations without legal grounding.
Yeah, I got you. No,
hey, y'all body cameras rolling?
yeah.
Okay.
Like she just finished explaining to you, we just got a call, right? You know, so whenever we get a call, you know, you're matching description, we just, you know, come say what's up, right? Make sure you're good, you know what I mean?
But listen, I want to have a lower level conversation real quick. This is my hypothetical question. Why is it that when officers are called to the scene, even if it's not a crime, like what I'm doing right now, why is it that when you engage with a member of the public, when the member of the public state their rights, and if I state penal code, if I state case law, why is it that police officers never think, is he a police officer? It's almost like you guys just be like, he's not a lawyer, he's not a police officer, whatever he's saying. Why is it that type of like posture?
Yeah, no, I mean, we listen to people, right? It's a part of our job, you know, every single day. When people are right, I tell them, okay, you're right, you know what I mean?
Okay, now watch this. Is this a consensual encounter?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Just because it's a call for service.
Right, because it's a call for service.
Yeah.
But when it's a call for service, you guys are here to enforce the law.
The second officer steps in calmly, explaining that they only want to check on him and ensure he's okay. The man shifts the conversation to a broader issue: why officers dismiss citizens who clearly know the law. He questions why officers assume a knowledgeable citizen cannot be part of law enforcement. The officer replies that they listen when people are correct, but the man emphasizes the double standard. When police rely on penal codes, it's valid, but when citizens do, it's perceived as argumentative. This tension reflects deeper communication issues between the public and police.
Not necessarily.
Then what else do you enforce?
So like reasonable suspicion, right?
What's reasonable?
Reasonable?
That's articulable reason
It's what a
suspicion.
reasonable person would believe. You know what I mean?
Is that a penal code reason?
It's in the penal code.
It says articulable suspicion that a crime is being committed or about to be committed.
I don't know the definition textbook off my head, right? But reasonable suspicion, probable cause, they're all different levels.
Right.
But like I said, call for service, usually just reasonable suspicion. You know what I mean? It's not probable cause, right? Like, it's not
Right.
probable cause.
So that's no probable cause me to ID. But that's not what she's saying. We're still here because she's saying I have to ID.
Oh, that's her call, right?
No.
Officer in charge here.
She's officer in charge,
Yeah.
but you still have a duty to correct any erroneous mistakes.
Yeah.
So right, so
I don't see any mistakes going on here. Right?
you just said I don't have to ID. I just told you she said I have to. Now you say you don't see a mistake.
Well, that's her call. Maybe she sees something that I don't.
I don't know what to call you.
Yeah. How you doing?
You're gonna be good if we leave.
Yeah.
Look, like I mentioned before, you're not committing a crime, right? And
Right.
you're obviously aware of that, right?
Right.
You obviously got concerned citizens. You're reporting.
They discuss whether the encounter is consensual. Both officers confirm it is not because it's a call for service. The man then challenges their grasp of reasonable suspicion versus probable cause. The officer admits he doesn't know the exact definitions by memory. The man presses further, stating officers must fully understand these concepts to legally justify interactions. He explains that improperly invoking reasonable suspicion can lead to wrongful detainment or forced identification, which violates constitutional protections. This exposes internal confusion between officers about identification requirements during non-criminal encounters.
Right?
But no,
So-
you're nice. But my thing is this: when a member of the public engages with law enforcement, we should be able to give our understanding also in such a way to you guys shouldn't be in a hurry to leave. Because if there was a real investigation, if I was breaking the law,
Yeah.
you guys would take your time to detail a police report. What they call them? Witnesses. You guys would take your time to get a full report.
Sometimes our hands are limited, right? Like I mentioned earlier, it was just a concerned citizen, so we don't have any information to go based on.
Right. I know that, but I'm saying, like, since you don't have that,
We don't, and so the call came out. Guy matching your description. You're obviously holding a camera, you're
Right.
recording, so that's all we have. That's all we have to work on right now. So that's why I'm making contact with you right now.
But for future reference, I just want you to know that that is not enough to ID someone.
Okay.
And I think you know that. I think you probably got to update it.
It just
I think
it makes it easier, right? And like I mentioned, you're not in any trouble, like you had mentioned. I'm trying to make contact with you.
Right.
At the end of the day, I'm doing my job.
No, you are. But see,
Right.
part of your job is to enforce accurate law. If you're misinterpreting the law, now you're violating someone's rights unknowingly. You can do it knowingly or unknowingly. Like this gentleman, when you went to the car, he said, I did not have to ID. Now, that's counterproductive to what you said. So then when I told the gentleman, well,
The disagreement intensifies as the man compares statements from both officers. One says he doesn't have to identify himself. The other claims he does. The contradiction frustrates him, as law enforcement should speak consistently on legal matters. He explains that misinterpretation leads to violations, intentional or not. The officer explains that only she was dispatched, not her partner, causing the difference. Still unsatisfied, the man asks if they would have run his ID for warrants, which she denies, saying she would only log the contact. But he questions how a citizen could ever trust such discretion.
tell her that. Then he said, well, it's not my stop. See, now we have a difference of understanding here. We got two law officers saying two different things. That is a problem. You should be on the same page. And then he said he doesn't know the exact penal code verbiage, articulable suspicion. that's another bad thing because you have to know that to make a proper investigation or proper arrest.
I just went into my business. Are you prior to law enforcement? Or are you just something that you just study because you like it?
I'm definitely, I've been in government.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, I've been in government, you know, and so.
Look, like I mentioned, you're not in any trouble, and you haven't committed a crime, right? Like I had mentioned before. You're gonna be good. We won't have to
But that's
be
not good enough.
Well, the thing is that
Because you gave misinformation.
How did that?
You said I did not have the ID. Did you say that? And then when I said, well, tell her that, there's no proper cause. So then why did you say I have the ID?
Well, because it wasn't a casual encounter.
It just make it easy. That's not a legitimate circumstance. I want to know the right answer. So I'm trying to get you guys to get on the same page. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to know, why did you say I don't have the ID, and why are you saying I do have the
I
ID?
did get dispatched. He didn't get dispatched.
Doesn't matter. He's law enforcement.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is he probably just did a roll by him. I'm pretty sure he didn't get dispatched to here. I have a call. Like, I have an actual
This is
call
her
that
responsibility.
I mean, there's always an officer in charge for any situation, but that doesn't mean you didn't know what's going on, right?
Okay, so like I mentioned, I did get a call.
Mhm.
I have a call was created for me to make contact with.
Mhm.
This isn't, like I mentioned, I just didn't casually drive up here and I was on the other side of town when this call came in.
Right.
Right. So all I'm saying is,
Okay, let me ask you this: if I would have gave you my ID, would you have ran my name?
read it.
Would you have ran it in the
No,
system?
I would have logged it in. Just that I made contact with you.
So you wouldn't have ran for warrants?
No, there's a difference. I can log it in that I made contact with
Mhm.
you, and obviously you haven't committed a crime. And running it through the NCIC, TCIC
Right.
would.
He continues emphasizing that citizens rely on officers to apply the law correctly. He explains how police often say every situation is different, yet dismiss similar claims when citizens defend themselves. They repeat that is not suspected of a crime and is free to continue recording. He emphasizes miscommunication within law enforcement, insisting they must align their interpretations to prevent wrongful enforcement. When he asks for a call for service number, the officer begins writing it down. Still, he stresses that their inconsistent explanations show a lack of foundational understanding of ID laws.
You had mentioned it's totally different. I wouldn't have done that.
Now let me ask you this: how would a member of the public know when you're going to make that discretionary
You
decision?
could have asked me just like you did right now.
But
Or you could have probably heard.
I've done it before. I've done it before, and I know. And that's the bad thing about law enforcement encounter. You know, when a member of the public says something that happened in the past, law enforcement says, "Well, that's a different situation." But when you guys encounter us, and you say, "Well, you could be doing this, you could be doing that," then we can say, "Well, that's a different situation." So it goes both ways, you know. Right.
Yeah, every situation is different. Unfortunately, we're here
Mhm.
because, like I mentioned before, the call that I received,
Mhm.
right? And that's basically, like I mentioned, you're not in any trouble or anything like that.
You guys got cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can write the CAD number on there, this call for service number on there for me.
You want the cat narrative number?
Yeah.
Negative on vehicle.
So you don't want to say you don't. So are you the kind of public official that don't correct their officers when they're wrong?
I don't know if she's right or wrong.
You don't know penal code?
I do.
What's penal code for ID?
Penal code for ID?
Yeah.
That doesn't really make any sense.
What is the penal code for when a member of the public is required to identify themselves?
When they're suspected of committing a crime.
Right. Am I suspected of committing a crime? So
But
when,
like I said, we got reasonable suspicion, we got probable
That's-
cause, we got mere suspicion.
all that is separate though.
Yeah, but you're rambling on about all these different.
I'm rambling.
Yeah, you keep throwing different names.
Isn't that what you guys use to articulate an arrest or a citation? You use penal code, right?
Yeah.
So when a member of the,
Transportation code for citations.
or
Yeah.
right, so when a member of the public brings up penal code, then they're rambling
Well, I mean, you don't really stay on one topic. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
because you guys have no reason to be here. So I have to use subject matter examples to get you guys to
Well,
understand.
it's like she just finished telling you, man. We do have a reason to be here just because of the call.
Now,
Right? That doesn't mean we're, telling you, hey, you're committing a crime or whatever, right? But it's just a concerned citizen, right? Our citizens are responsible.
you're Daffy Duck. You need to touch up on your law and your fundamentals because you are a casualty to the city, and you, by the way you interpret things, it's not good for law enforcement.
That's not a case number. My scratch it out. It's just the cat narrative call that we
It's information. If you guys are here on an information call.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
No.
Alright.
All right.
All right.
Be safe, man.
Hey, and always remember, every member of the public could be an FBI agent, they could be anybody. So when you give inaccurate representations of the law, you're opening yourself up to situations and circumstances. And we don't want to do that because the taxpayers have nothing to do with it. Okay. You too.
In the closing moments, the man directly confronts the supervising officer, asking why he won't correct mistakes made by his partner. The officer claims he doesn't know whether she is right or wrong. The man asks for the penal code requiring citizens to show ID. The officer cannot cite it. The man argues that invoking random terms like reasonable suspicion without proper grounding is dangerous. He concludes by saying officers must study law more seriously to avoid violating rights unintentionally. The scene ends with unresolved tension, highlighting the importance of knowledge, accountability, and clarity in police-citizen encounters.